You know that feeling, right? That moment when you're absolutely clear on what you should do. Maybe it's sending that tough email or sticking to a plan.
Yeah.
But then somehow you just don't. It happens, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's not just the big stuff either.
Yeah.
It's those little daily battles,
Yeah,
frustration, maybe a bit of greed or fear just derails you.
exactly. You know the right move, but it feels like your emotions just slam the override button, and then you're left kicking yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something that could, well, really unlock a new level of performance. Not just in high stakes areas, but just in understanding our own reactions to pressure, to uncertainty.
Okay.
We're exploring the key ideas from The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler. It's a book that honestly brilliantly tackles these exact psychological hurdles, especially when consistency and resilience are crucial.
Yeah, Tendler's work is really insightful on this.
Our mission today is to unpack his pretty surprising idea that emotions, they aren't obstacles we need to crush or suppress. Instead, they're powerful signals. They point to deeper, fixable flaws in how we're thinking. We want to show you how reframing things this way offers a systematic path from self-sabotage to, well, self-mastery.
And these are strategies you can use anywhere, not just trading.
Absolutely. Imagine for a second, every time you feel that surge of frustration or that little prick of fear, what if it wasn't a problem?
What if it was a message?
Exactly. Tendler's radical idea, and it really shifts everything, is that these intense feelings aren't weaknesses. They're sophisticated feedback.
Like a diagnostic tool.
Precisely, pointing us right to what needs fixing. It's like your emotions are giving you a report, not a failing grade. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is that core idea you mentioned, emotion like fear, greed, anger.
Yeah.
They're not the enemy.
Right.
He totally reframes them. They're diagnostic signals. They flag underlying biases, assumptions, maybe gaps in our learning.
So like a check engine light in your car.
Exactly like that. It's not the light that's the problem. It's telling you something deeper needs looking at.
So it's not just, okay, I feel scared, got to push through. It's more like, why this fear right now? What's it telling me about what I believe or expect? That changes everything, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Take his example. Exiting a trade early isn't just being afraid,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
but you could apply that anywhere, right? Quitting a hobby when it gets tough, backing out of a difficult conversation.
Yeah, I see that.
It might signal, a deeper lack of confidence in your strategy, whatever that strategy is.
Mm.
Or maybe you've got unrealistic expectations about how fast things should work out.
Oh, okay. The expectations thing is big.
Huge. And the key shift is redirecting your energy. Stop trying to just suppress the feeling.
And instead.
Correct. The root cause the feeling is pointing to. Address those underlying issues, the flawed assumptions, the gaps, and the emotional outbursts. They naturally start to lessen.
So your bad habits or struggles become data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Valuable data points.
Yeah.
Not character flaws you need to beat yourself up over.
That reframing is incredibly powerful. Turning an outburst into data. Wow. But, I mean, the immediate reaction for many people is still to fight the fear, right?
Oh, for sure. It's ingrained.
How does Tendler explain making that shift? From fighting it to understanding it, is it just deciding to think differently, or is there more structure needed?
It definitely needs structure, and the book gives you that. It's not just theory. He offers practical tools for building that self-awareness.
Like what?
Well, one key thing is systematically mapping your emotional patterns, like actually journaling, detailing the triggers, the thoughts that follow, the behavior.
So really tracking it. When, why, how?
Precisely. Doing that consistently builds deep self-awareness.
Yeah.
You start to see the subconscious patterns. They become visible.
Which means you can intervene before you repeat the mistake.
Exactly, before the costly error happens again. It's actually pretty similar to how an analyst might study market charts or business trends.
But the focus is internal. Your own mind, your own reaction.
Your inner world, yeah.
Okay, so you start mapping these signals. Then the question becomes, how do I improve? And this next idea, the A game versus C game, that surprised me.
Ah.
Because it's not just about hitting your peak performance all the time. What Tendler suggests is actually, well, maybe more useful for getting consistent results.
It is more impactful for consistency. The focus isn't just on perfecting your absolute best, your A game.
Right.
It's about raising the floor. It's about addressing and fixing the mistakes you make on your worst days, your C game days.
Okay, raising the floor. That makes sense.
And this is where it gets really interesting. True progress, the kind that leads to stable, predictable results, comes from narrowing that gap, the gap between your best and your worst.
So being more reliably good, even when you're not firing on all cylinders.
Exactly. Think
Okay.
about any field. You could have amazing days, breakthrough moments, but consistent high performance. That comes from cutting down the errors, being solid even when things aren't perfect.
And to help build that consistency, he offers this tool, the mental hand history. Sounds like a very systematic approach.
It is very structured.
Can you walk us through the steps? Because self-correction can feel pretty vague for a lot of us. Like, okay, I'll try harder next time.
Right, this gives it teeth. It's one of the core practical tools in the book for fixing those recurring mental game problems. It's a 5-step process.
Okay,
First, describe the problem clearly.
Yeah.
What actually happened? Be specific.
Got it. Step 1, description.
Second, explain why it makes sense, but from your personal emotional perspective. This isn't about making excuses. It's about understanding the internal logic, however wonky it seems from the outside, that led to the behavior.
Okay, understand the internal why. Step 2.
Third, identify the flawed logic or assumption. This is crucial. Pinpoint the faulty belief driving it. Like, maybe you believe a good strategy should never lose, or every effort must pay off immediately.
Finding the bug in the system. Step 3, what's 4?
Fourth, create a correction. Reframe that flawed belief. Develop a rational alternative response. What should you think or do instead?
Okay, build the fix.
Yeah.
And the last step.
Fifth, validate through experience. Test the new approach. Try it out in the real world. See if it works. Does the correction hold up under pressure?
Describe, explain internally. Identify flaw, create correction, validate. That's clear.
It's a structure that lets you really expose and replace those faulty assumptions with rational thinking. It builds genuine mental resilience.
It sounds like being your own, I don't know, mental detective. Analyzing those moments where you just went off track.
That's a great way to put it, analyzing the internal crime scene.
So beyond these foundational tools, Tendler also zooms in on some common psychological traps like tilt. We've all heard that term.
The emotional spiral after a setback.
Right. He really dissects things like tilt, revenge trading, doesn't he?
He absolutely does. And he doesn't just name them, like tilt or revenge trading, that desperate need to win back what you lost.
Yeah.
He digs into the root causes. Tilt, for instance, often stems from an inability to accept uncertainty, or maybe a flawed belief that you're owed a win because you tried hard.
Raw entitlement.
Could be revenge trading, often an emotional need to be right or to avoid feeling like a failure. Overtrading might come from a need for constant action. Bailing out early could be a deep fear of commitment or risk.
So there's symptoms of deeper thinking errors.
Exactly. Fixable errors. He stresses how vital it is to recognize these destructive cycles, map them out, using those tools we talked about.
The journaling, the mental hand history.
Right, and apply those corrections before they cause major damage, whether that's financial, career-wise, or even personal.
And underpinning all of this is confidence. But he challenges the common view of confidence, right? It's not just puffing out your chest.
Not at all. He argues true confidence isn't arrogance or just wishful thinking. It's stable. It comes from competence and real preparation.
Built on solid ground.
And crucially, it's built not just on your successes, but on understanding, learning from, and correcting your failures. That's key.
So failure becomes part of building confidence, not undermining it.
If you handle it right, yes. His advice is set realistic expectations and learn to separate the outcome, win, loss, success, failure, from the quality of your process, your decision-making.
Separating process from outcome. That sounds like real mastery, but let's be honest, that is hard to do.
It's incredibly hard.
Especially when something important is on the line. Your job, your passion project, maybe even a relationship. Are there common mistakes people make trying to apply this?
Oh, definitely. A big pitfall is just intellectualizing it. Saying, oh yeah, I know, focus on the process, but then still beating yourself up over a bad outcome, even if your process was actually solid.
Right. Saying it versus actually feeling it and believing it.
Exactly. Tendler emphasizes this isn't about becoming indifferent to results. Nobody wants that.
Of course not.
It's about deeply realizing that while you can't control luck, variance, other people, external factors, you can control the quality of your choices and how you respond to whatever happens.
Okay. Control the controllables.
That continuous self-reflection, adjusting expectations based on reality, not just hope. That's the engine. And connecting this to the bigger picture, separating process from outcome is vital in almost any field where results aren't guaranteed, which is most of life, right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much all of it, yeah. That's a huge takeaway for anyone dealing with uncertainty. And it all comes back to this idea of continuous improvement through self-reflection. It's not a quick fix.
No, absolutely not. The core message is that ongoing self-analysis is essential if you want to grow,
So, regularly reviewing the journals, really thinking about the mistakes.
and actively challenging your own core beliefs. Are they still serving you? This kind of consistent work builds psychological flexibility. It helps you adapt, helps you thrive.
So, what does this all really boil down to?
Well, I think the book's value is massive, especially for people who have the technical skills in their field. Maybe they're good at their job, talented, but they struggle with inconsistency because of the mental game.
The psychological side trips them up.
Exactly. This goes way beyond surface level tips like stay positive. It's tangible, actionable self-work that can genuinely drive better results, really in any domain.
Okay, so summing up, the mental game of trading gives us this robust, systematic way to handle our emotional and psychological challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Reframing emotions as valuable feedback, meticulously mapping our patterns, getting to the root causes of our errors, and using structured problem solving like the mental hand history.
It empowers you to build consistency, resilience, and ultimately perform better.
Two quotes really stuck with me. First, hope isn't a strategy. Close it and move on to the next one.
Yes, decisive, process-driven action.
And the second, you can't control variance, but you can control how you respond to it.
Acceptance of uncertainty, focus on your reaction. Powerful stuff.
Definitely. Which leads to a final thought, maybe, for everyone listening.
Yeah.
If these principles mastering the mental game are so effective in a high-stakes world like trading, how could applying these same insights change your game?
Mm-hmm. In other unpredictable parts of your life.
Right. Whether it's your career, creative work, leading a team, maybe even just handling difficult family dynamics or personal relationships.
Applying that process of mapping triggers,
Yeah.
correcting flawed logic.
Yeah. What stands out to you about how these ideas could map onto your own challenges? Something to chew on.